Is the mic on?
Cobra Kai Season 5 is goofy as hell. It's honestly the dumbest season yet, and somehow it's still somewhat entertaining. The issue is that it never fucking ends. Almost every season has the opportunity to end, especially this one. And why do I keep watching? Because I want to see what happens and I like the fight scenes. I'm a simple man. To me, this season is the funniest, and I say that because it takes itself way too seriously. I still think the first season was the best because it was all about Johnny Lawrence running Cobra Kai, and it was actually meant to be like a fun comedy show. But with each season, it's spiraled out of control to the point where it's like the Fast and Furious franchise. It went from 2 competing dojos and bullying to gang violence. Cobra Kai now has assassins, and it's just grown-ass men fighting each other. It's so stupid. A show like this should not have such serious scenes. I hate that Johnny Lawrence isn't really the main character anymore because I feel like he's the only character that isn't taken way too seriously. And with each season, I've lost interest in Daniel LaRusso, which is sad because he's the Karate Kid, but he's just so dramatic. If you were to watch some of the scenes out of context, you'd think you were watching a CW soap opera. I mean, on the bright side, it's not woke like a CW show, but I'm not just gonna give it props for that. It is nice that most of the main characters are on the same side for once, but there is some dumb rivalry still. Both dojos run into each other everywhere, and it's so stupid. It feels like every character has a sworn enemy. Even Daniel's wife gets bullied by some soccer moms at a bar. This show is dumb as fuck. There's even a part where his daughter Sam is in an isolation tank and she starts tripping and she starts fighting herself and there's nunchucks and shit. Like, what the hell has this show become? It's just so dumb to a point where I don't know what I'm doing watching it. And then there's a scene where John Kreese is fighting everyone in prison and he wins. It seems like fights break out in every other scene, and it's so ridiculous. But the dumbest part of the entire season was the ending, because I couldn't get over how stupid it was. Like, I could not stop laughing. So, spoiler alert, in one of the earlier episodes of this season, John Kreese, who shouldn't even be a part of this series anymore at this point, notices his therapist's key card to the prison, and I wanted to believe that they weren't going to do what I thought they would do, but they did. At the end, John Kreese gets stabbed by someone in the prison, but it turns out that it was Jello on his shirt and not blood. This motherfucker fights the doctor and sneaks out using his therapist's key card. This show is beyond stupid to the point that I have lost brain cells watching it. I mean, I think this show is written by a 5th grader. I would not be surprised. They just put Terry Silver in prison. They won. End the show so I don't have to keep watching because I want to see what happens and I feel like I'm stuck. But if they want to keep going, I have an idea for the next season that could end the series in the perfect way. So at the end of the next season, both dojos are about to do their final tournament, but all of a sudden, a giant meteor hits the earth and annihilates everyone. So now, no one can do karate and everyone's dead. Problem solved. You're welcome. At this point, I don't even care about any of the characters, so kill them all off, even the Karate Kid, I don't care. Chances are, they'd still survive because they know karate. At least kill off Kreese because clearly prison can't even hold him. Like, I guess he's the Joker at this point. Like, this show is so stupid. This show is one of the dumbest I've seen in a long time. It's like the series You, where it's interesting, but it's so cringy, but you can't stop watching, I guess. If you've never seen Cobra Kai, I recommend just watching the first season or two, but if you've been keeping up, you might as well watch this season. Look, it is kind of entertaining, I'll admit, but it's such a joke, and I guess that's why it's still kind of entertaining, because you can at least laugh at it. I really believe that this sort of absurdity would work better in the 80s or in cartoon form. If this show was animated, I think I'd actually take it seriously because of how cartoonish these characters are and their situations are. It's getting really difficult to watch grown-ass men rival against each other and do karate. I don't understand it. So if I had to rate Cobra Kai Season 5, I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10. I recommend drinking alcohol before you watch this season. Anyway, I'm gonna be pretty busy for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but I'll get to my next video as soon as possible. So, yeah. Bye.